Harley Davidson just dropped a bombshell that's got riders fuming. Dealerships are slashing trade-in values, refusing older models without connected tech, and dumping them at auctions. With the HD certified program tightening control, sound restrictions killing the roar, and lawsuits piling up, the brand now has just 12 months to save itself. The whole freedom, rebellion, wind in your hair, brotherhood on the open road thing? Yeah, that's basically been shoved in a corner and replaced with something that looks a lot more like a corporate PowerPoint presentation. And not even a good one. We're talking about dealerships that used to feel like biker hangouts suddenly turning into retail traps with slick sales scripts, inflated prices, and fees so ridiculous they might as well be charging you for breathing in their showroom. Now, instead of riding out with a feeling of victory, people are riding straight into years, not months, years, of financial handcuffs. We're talking about loans that stretch for up to 7 years. 7 years. That's the kind of commitment you make to a mortgage, not a motorcycle. And the kicker? If your credit isn't absolutely spotless, Harley dealerships are happy to slap you with interest rates up to 12%. 12%? I mean, sure, nothing screams freedom like owing the bank a small fortune for the better part of a decade. And the actual numbers are even more jaw-dropping. Take a $25,000 street glide. Sounds expensive enough, right? Well, by the time you've slogged through those loan payments at those rates, you're staring at a $45,000 total bill. 45 grand for a bike that costs about $18,000 to actually build. Imagine paying luxury car prices for something that rolled out of the factory for less than half of what you paid. Oh, but don't worry, it's premium. Riders aren't exactly keeping quiet about this either. Social media is lit up with outrage. We're talking millions of views on videos where people are pulling back the curtain on these scammy add-ons. You've got $800 prep fees for literally unwrapping plastic and checking tire pressure. There's a $2,000 delivery fee for a bike that arrived on the same truck with a couple dozen others. And then my personal favorite, the $4,000 market adjustment. That dealership speaks for because we can. And here's the real mood killer. The entire atmosphere of these showrooms has changed. Harley used to be about the culture. It was about being part of something bigger. Now it's about seeing how far they can push you before you break out your credit card. The loyalty, the sense of belonging. It's been swapped out for clipboards, upsell pitches, and a calculator clicking away in the back office. And if you think that's bad, just wait until you see how they've mastered the art of fake scarcity. This is where it gets cartoon-level absurd. Some dealerships are literally marking bikes as sold on their websites, just to manufacture the illusion of high demand. One Phoenix dealership had 17 street glides showing as sold online. 17. But then, surprise, when an undercover buyer called up pretending to be ready with cash, suddenly 3 of them were available. Full markup, of course. It's like they're running a Broadway play, complete with props, stage drama, and a very expensive ticket price. And this isn't just about tricking you into thinking the bike is rare. It's about hitting you in the gut with urgency, so you cave before you have time to think. They know emotion sells. They also know once you're attached to the idea of your bike, you'll tolerate just about anything to get it. But even that game is starting to bite them in the rear. The same floor plan financing that allows them to stock up on all these bikes, yeah, the interest on that is piling up faster than they can move inventory. So now you've got dealerships offering $5,000 off MSRP and people are still walking away. That's how bad the trust problem has gotten. And for some mid-sized dealerships, this inventory mess has been a death sentence. They're closing doors permanently because the same gimmicks they use to milk customers are now choking their own businesses. And just when you think, all right, maybe that's the worst of it, Harley decides it's time to get techie. Since 2023, they've been rolling out what they call the Connected Ride system. It's got touchscreens, GPS tracking, integrated digital services. Basically, your bike is now a smartphone with handlebars. Except here's the twist, you can't opt out. It's all hardwired into the bike, and if you try to mess with it, congratulations, you've just voided your warranty. You'd think, okay, maybe it's cool tech, maybe it's worth it. But no, this isn't about giving you cool features, it's about locking you into an endless cycle of payments. Want turn-by-turn navigation on your $25,000 Harley? That'll be a subscription fee, please. Want theft tracking or diagnostics? Better keep that subscription active. They've managed to take a one-time purchase and turn it into a recurring bill, just like your Netflix account. Except Netflix doesn't come with chrome handlebars and a 12% loan. One poor guy bought a Road Glide and was told he couldn't leave the dealership without the premium tech package already activated. That little gift? An extra $1,500 on top of everything else. And you know what this really is? It's Harley moving away from the raw mechanical simplicity that made people fall in love with the brand in the first place, and sprinting toward a Silicon Valley business model where the bike is just the gateway to a subscription plan. And here's what's so ironic. Harley used to build bikes for people who wanted nothing between them and the road. No distractions, no corporate strings, no blinking screens telling you what to do. Now they're building bikes for I don't even know who. People who think Bluetooth connectivity is more important than engine rumble. Riders who don't mind a monthly bill hanging over their head as long as the dash lights up pretty. It's like they forgot who actually got them to where they are. The old school riders who kept these bikes on the road for decades didn't need GPS in the dash or a subscription to check their own damn diagnostics. They just needed the machine, the open road, and maybe a good wrench set. But now if you're not willing to buy into their tech ecosystem, you're basically a second-class citizen in their eyes. And you can see how all these things tie together. The inflated prices, the fake scarcity, the forced tech, it's all part of the same playbook. Squeeze every possible dollar out of the customer, and then make sure they keep paying long after they've rolled out of the showroom. It's not enough to sell you a bike anymore. Now they want to sell you the idea that you have to keep unlocking the bike you already bought. This isn't some accidental shift. This is a conscious choice to move away from what made Harley an icon and towards something that looks a lot like a luxury appliance business. The difference is, when your fridge starts charging you $10 a month to use the freezer, people will lose their minds. When Harley does it, they wrap it in words like premium and exclusive and hope you're too caught up in the fantasy to notice you're being bled dry. And honestly, the wildest part is seeing the reaction from people who used to be diehard loyal. You talk to them now, and it's like listening to someone describe a bad breakup. They're not just mad about the money. They're mad that the brand they trusted, the brand they defended for years, has turned into something unrecognizable. It's not just about the ride anymore. It's about surviving the sales pitch, surviving the financing, and surviving the never-ending drip of extra charges. It's hard to watch, because this didn't have to happen. Harley had something no other brand could touch, a community, a feeling, an identity. And somehow, they've managed to trade all that in for prep fees, market adjustments, and a touchscreen that needs a subscription just to tell you where the nearest gas station is. Let's start with trade-ins, because Harley dealerships have turned what used to be a decent way to upgrade your ride into a full-on insult. You could roll in with a 2020 Heritage Classic in flawless condition, barely a scratch, fully serviced, the whole thing looking like it just came off the showroom floor. And they'll slide you a number across the desk that makes you wonder if they've confused your bike with a rusted lawnmower. $9,000. 9. For a bike that sold for nearly $20,000 just a couple of years ago. That's not just lowballing, that's digging a hole, bearing the value, and dancing on the grave. And if your bike happens to be a little older and doesn't have all the new connected tech nonsense built in, forget it. Some dealerships are straight up refusing to take those on trade. Perfectly good machines with plenty of life left, but apparently, if it can't beam your location to corporate HQ or upsell you a navigation subscription, it's not worth their time. They'd rather fill their floor with shiny, over-teched, overpriced showroom darlings. Even when they do take your trade, here's the shady part, a lot of them don't even bother trying to resell it. Nope, they send it straight to auction. Why? Because they know it won't stand a chance parked next to their brand new touchscreen models. They'd rather dump it off wholesale than let customers see that you could get a solid bike without paying through the nose for bells and whistles you didn't ask for. And then, just to twist the knife, there's the warranty game. Harley's fine print is like a legal booby trap. You think your bike's protected, but apparently installing something as harmless as slip-on pipes, a fuel tuner, or a high-flow air kit can void massive chunks of your warranty, sometimes the entire powertrain. And here's the real kicker, it doesn't even matter if the upgrade has nothing to do with the problem. Real writers have the receipts. James in Arizona bought a brand new Street Glide with under 7,000 miles on it. The only thing he did was install a fuel tuner to smooth out the throttle. Harley's response when he needed help? Denied. Out of pocket, over $1,000 for something that should have been covered. Then there's Marie in Ohio. Her cam tensioner failed. Should have been a simple warranty fix, right? Wrong. They took one look at her upgraded exhaust and claimed it could have caused stress and refused to touch it. She never even touched the cams. And the wild part? Some of these same dealerships will happily install those upgrades for you when you buy the bike, without ever warning you that it could nuke your warranty down the road. Then, when things break, they smile, point at the policy, and walk away like they had nothing to do with it. But hey, maybe you're thinking, fine, I'll skip the showroom and buy used. Avoid the games entirely. Yeah, about that. Harley's got their claws in the used market too. They've rolled out this HD certified program that sounds good on paper. Extra inspections, a limited warranty, peace of mind. But really, it's just a funnel. They push buyers hard toward these certified bikes. And if you own a non-certified Harley, suddenly you're a second-class citizen. Some dealers won't even work on it unless you cough up premium labor fees. And in some cases, they'll just refuse outright. It gets worse. Thanks to VIN history tracking, you can actually inherit someone else's warranty problems. If the previous owner made a mod Harley doesn't like, you could find yourself holding the bag for repairs with zero coverage, even if you had no clue about the change. One guy in Ohio bought a 2019 Fat Boy, completely unaware it had been tuned by the last owner. Ran fine until the check engine light came on. Dealer plugged it in, saw the old tune in the history, and boom, refused warranty coverage. And just to really seal the deal, Harley's own financing arm, Eagle Mark Savings Bank, offers better interest rates if you buy a certified used bike. They're using the bank to herd buyers into their preferred inventory and squeeze even more control over the market. Then there's the sound issue. That iconic Harley roar, the one that turns heads, starts conversations at gas stations, and has been part of the brand's DNA for decades, Harley's turning down the volume. Stock exhausts are getting quieter, aftermarket options are restricted to factory-approved Screamin' Eagle parts that don't pack the same punch, and their electric live wire is silent by design. They claim it's about compliance and attracting a new, cleaner, techier crowd, but to longtime riders, it feels like they're slowly muting the soul of the machine. Subscribe now and ride with us as we keep exposing the truth Harley doesn't want you to hear.